What I'm about to tell you will change the way you see disrespect forever, because most people in America are taught to avoid it, ignore it, or let it eat them alive in silence. But Machiavelli revealed something 500 years ago that flips the game upside down. He showed that disrespect isn't a curse, it's a weapon in disguise. And if you know how to use it, you can turn every insult, every rejection, every act of being underestimated into raw power. So before we go deeper, drop this affirmation in the comments right now. Disrespect fuels my rise, because today, you will see how to transform disrespect into dominance. And by the end of this video, you'll no longer look at someone's shade or dismissal the same way again, because disrespect is the doorway to influence if you know the psychology behind it. So let us break it down with 5 brutal lessons straight from the Machiavellian mindset that can reshape your life. The first tactic is silence. And silence is not weakness, it's your hidden blade, because when someone disrespects you, the natural impulse is to clap back, to defend, to explain yourself. But when you stay quiet, you deny them the satisfaction of controlling your emotions. In fact, silence makes people project their own guilt and weakness onto themselves. It leaves them hanging, wondering if you're planning something bigger. And in America, where everyone wants the last word, the person who says nothing often holds the most power. So remember this: silence is not absence. Silence is pressure. And when you use it wisely, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability breeds respect. So drop this in the comments. My silence is my power. Now the second tactic is consistency. And consistency doesn't sound dangerous, but it is one of the deadliest psychological weapons you can have, because people respect patterns they can't break. When you show up every day with the same energy, the same vision, the same results, disrespect fades because results erase doubt. You see, in Machiavelli's time, rulers who were steady and predictable in their discipline terrified their enemies, because enemies knew they couldn't be shaken. And in modern America, it's the same thing. If you are consistent in your work, your message, your values, eventually even your biggest haters have no choice but to respect you, because consistency builds credibility, and credibility is power. So when someone disrespects you by doubting your grind, don't argue, don't defend, just keep showing up, because nothing is louder than results. So drop this in the comments. My consistency destroys doubt. The third tactic is the most Machiavellian of all. It is the disproportionate response. And this is where most people fail, because they respond to disrespect with equal energy. But Machiavelli teaches that the way to shut down disrespect forever is to respond in a way so big, so out of proportion, that the other person thinks twice before ever crossing you again. And I don't mean violence, I mean psychological dominance. For example, if someone mocks your business idea, you don't clap back with words. You double down, scale it, succeed to the point where their mockery looks ridiculous. And when they see you rise, they feel the sting of their own smallness. In the corporate world, in friendships, even in family dynamics, a disproportionate response resets the balance of power, and it tells the world, disrespect me once, you'll regret it for years, so drop this in the comments. I answer disrespect with dominance. Now the fourth tactic is to cultivate a dark image, and this might sound strange, but Machiavelli understood that people respect what they fear. And in America, where everyone wants to be liked, the one who dares to carry an aura of mystery and danger stands out. Because when people don't know the full depths of your mind, when they sense you could do something unexpected, they tread more carefully around you. Think about the leaders, the athletes, the entrepreneurs who carry that edge. They are respected not only because of their wins, but because of the silent darkness behind their smile. And this darkness doesn't mean evil. It means you don't show all your cards, you don't broadcast every move, you let people feel. There is more to you than they can grasp, and that aura forces respect, because people fear what they cannot predict. So drop this in the comments. My mystery makes me powerful. Finally, the fifth tactic is intelligence from disrespect, because here's the truth. Every time someone disrespects you, they are giving you free information. They're telling you their insecurities, their blind spots, their jealousy, their fears, and most people miss this because they are too busy being offended. But Machiavelli said the wise ruler uses enemies as teachers, and in America you can do the same when someone disrespects you. Study their words, study their tone, study what they reveal about themselves, because in that disrespect is a map of their weaknesses, and if you know their weaknesses, you can use them strategically. So instead of reacting with anger, react with analysis, because disrespect is data, and data is power. So drop this in the comments. I turn disrespect into wisdom. These 5 tactics might sound ruthless, but that's the point, because life is not fair. People will disrespect you, doubt you, dismiss you. But the Machiavellian way is to use it all as fuel, to turn every slight into strength, every insult into strategy, every rejection into respect. And if you master silence, consistency, disproportionate response, dark image, and intelligence from disrespect, you won't just survive disrespect, you'll thrive because of it. So never forget this. Disrespect is not the end. It is the beginning of power. It is the universe handing you an opportunity to rise. And the next time someone underestimates you, don't get angry, don't break down. Just smile, because you know what they don't, that every act of disrespect is secretly making you unstoppable. Most people think disrespect is a wall, something that stops them, hurts them, or proves they're not enough. But if you've been paying attention, you now see it differently. Disrespect is not a wall. It's a mirror. It shows you how strong you are, how disciplined you are, how much fire you carry inside. And Machiavelli understood that if you can take the sting of disrespect and turn it inward as fuel, you can bend reality in your favor. Because people in America often quit the moment they feel disrespected. They shut down, they hide, or they explode emotionally. And both reactions kill your power. But when you reframe disrespect as opportunity, you become unstoppable. And this is where the second layer of strategy comes in. Because beyond the 5 tactics we already broke down, silence, consistency, disproportionate response, dark image, and intelligence, there is a deeper way of living that turns every encounter with disrespect into a permanent upgrade of your character, your influence, and your future. So let's keep going, because what I'm about to reveal will give you the kind of mindset that Americans secretly admire and fear, the mindset that builds leaders, visionaries, and rulers of their own destiny. First, understand that silence is not just an external weapon, it is an internal discipline. Because in the heat of disrespect, your emotions want to explode, but the real test is whether you can remain calm inside. And if you master this, you carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with quiet confidence. You no longer chase approval. And in a culture obsessed with talking, bragging, oversharing, the man or woman who is steady, quiet, and calm radiates a different kind of power. So remember this. Silence isn't only what you withhold from others, it's what you master within yourself. And when you show that kind of control, even your enemies have to respect it. Drop this in the comments. I master myself in silence. Next, let's expand consistency, because most people confuse it with boring routine. But Machiavelli saw consistency as the most terrifying thing in an opponent, because it meant they could not be broken. Imagine your haters trying to disrespect you year after year. But every year you come back stronger. You produce results, you build, you win. At some point, the disrespect collapses under the weight of your persistence. In America, people are addicted to quick wins, shortcuts, and instant fame. But the one who plays the long game, who shows up relentlessly, becomes a force of nature, and forces of nature cannot be ignored. So your consistency is not just discipline, it is psychological warfare. It wears people down, it breaks resistance, it commands respect. So drop this in the comments. My consistency makes me unstoppable. Now about disproportionate response, here's the deeper layer. When you answer small disrespect with massive results, you train people to respect you permanently, because they know the cost of crossing you. But here's where most get it wrong. They think it's about revenge, when really it's about demonstration. You're showing the world that you don't waste energy on petty words. You transform negativity into action so big it overshadows the insult. In America, the most respected figures are those who don't fight small battles. They create victories so undeniable that the disrespect looks laughable in hindsight. So let every small slight push you into creating something so powerful it cannot be ignored, because that is the Machiavellian way, and it turns every critic into a silent witness of your rise. Drop this in the comments. I make my enemies regret underestimating me. When it comes to the dark image, take this deeper too, because building mystery isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about deliberately showing only the part of yourself that commands respect. You don't need to share your insecurities, your weaknesses, or your failures with everyone. You protect your inner world and reveal only what builds your aura. Because people fear what they cannot fully read in America. Oversharing is everywhere. People post everything online. They seek sympathy, but sympathy never builds respect. Respect comes from restraint, from the sense that there's more to you than meets the eye that you are capable of. Things they cannot measure. And that aura of danger, of unpredictability, forces people to treat you differently. So drop this in the comments. My mystery makes them respect me. Finally, let's go even deeper into intelligence from disrespect. Because this is the secret weapon almost no one uses. Every time someone disrespects you, they reveal their bias, their envy, their insecurity. And if you are wise, you don't just shrug it off, you write it down mentally. You build a map of how the people around you truly feel. You collect data about the world, and eventually you are playing chess while they are stuck playing checkers. Machiavelli said a ruler must know his enemies better than they know themselves. And in your life, the same rule applies, whether it's at work, in your circle of friends, or even in your family. If you use disrespect as free intelligence, you become untouchable. Because while they waste energy trying to bring you down, you are collecting knowledge to rise higher. So drop this in the comments. Disrespect teaches me their weakness. Now here's the truth. All of these tactics, when combined, create something greater than just defense against disrespect. They create transformation. Because the person who uses silence, consistency, disproportionate response, dark image, and intelligence doesn't just gain respect from others. They gain mastery over themselves. And that mastery is the real power. Because at the end of the day, disrespect only has the meaning you give it. And if you choose to give it the meaning Machiavelli gave it, then every slight, every rejection, every underestimation becomes gasoline for your fire. And in a country like America, where competition is everywhere, this mindset will set you apart. It will make you stronger, harder to break, more magnetic, more respected, and most of all, unstoppable. So the next time someone disrespects you, don't get bitter, get better, don't argue, dominate, don't whine, win. Because Machiavelli was right. Disrespect is not the end. It is the beginning of greatness. And if you accept this truth, you will carry yourself differently. You will act differently. And you will rise in ways your enemies never thought possible. So write this in the comments one last time. Disrespect is my power. Because from this day forward, you are no longer the victim of disrespect. You are the master of it, and the world will learn to respect you. Not because you begged for it, but because you commanded it with every action of your life.